In this video, a baby toad is buried under a greenhouse. You will see him open his eyes. You will see a toad ride a bulldog. You will see the toad walk into a trap. And you will see the doorway calling him home.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Let's get started.
I found him in a place people forgot to look at. Far beyond the last gas station, I saw a red glow between the trees. At first, I thought it was a warning light. But the closer I got, the more the forest felt alive. Then the trees opened around an abandoned greenhouse. No signs, no guards, no reason for anyone to go there. Inside, the old soil was glowing under a fallen table. Buried, there was a round white pod with red spots. It was warm, too warm for the cold night. When I touched it, the pod trembled and a tiny crack opened. From inside, two small eyes looked up at me. That was the first time I saw him. A baby toad. Not a frog, not a mushroom. He sneezed.
Yay! Maybe I picked him up because he looked lost. Maybe because he looked like he had been waiting for someone. I wrapped him in my jacket and brought him home. That first night, I gave him a shoebox bed. A bottle cap of water, one breadcrumb, and somehow a disaster. That was when I learned he was extremely dramatic. I named him Pip. The next morning, I gave him his first little outfit. For weeks, he moved like a toad with bad balance. Every time he tried to run, his cap carried him forward. Feeding him was a mystery. He stared at oatmeal like it had personally insulted him. Then one morning, I dropped a radish. He froze, like he had heard a secret command. He grabbed the leaves with both hands and pulled with his whole body. The radish popped free, and then he threw it straight into the trash. Perfect shot. After that, he pulled vegetables out of anything that looked remotely like soil. Flower pots, grocery bags, even soup bowls. Washing him was impossible. The first time I put him in the sink, he screamed like a tea kettle. Not because he was scared, because he liked the echo. He stomped puddles, splashed my face, and conquered the sponge. But even when he was happy, something in him listened to the dark. Sometimes I found him whispering in his sleep. When I turned on the lamp, his red spots glowed for half a second. I told myself it was normal. But nothing about Pip was normal. By the time he was the size of a small cat, his speed became a problem. One second he was on the rug, the next he was under the couch. Then inside a laundry basket, behind the curtains, and somehow on the refrigerator. He could not jump high, he could not fly, but he was fast. Unreasonably fast. And strong in a way that made no sense. The first major disaster happened during breakfast. I turned away for 2 seconds. When I looked back, he had lifted the entire frying pan over his head. If he could carry something, he would. If he could not, he would try anyway. I shouted his name and he panicked. He slipped and launched the pan across the kitchen. It hit the wall, flipped once, and landed perfectly in the sink. The eggs did not survive. Pip looked at the disaster, then at me. Then he gave the tiniest guilty smile. I should have been angry. Instead, I bought child locks. They did not work. As he grew, Pip discovered the hallway outside our apartment. Every time I opened the door, he tried to escape like a mushroom-shaped rocket. One evening, he made it all the way to the elevator. My neighbor's bulldog was inside, with my neighbor holding the leash. For 1 second, I thought Bruno would eat him. Instead, Pip grabbed Bruno's leash. Then, he started walking him. The owner of the dog was speechless. Pip was scared of vacuums, thunder, and the blender. But he was not scared of dogs. He rode Bruno's back through the courtyard. Kids gathered by the fence just to watch him. At first, people thought he was a toy. Then he moved. Then he shouted. That was when the video started. Real-life toad in apartment courtyard. Tiny toad walks bulldog. What is this? I tried to keep him hidden after that. But Pip had other plans. When he became a teenager, everything changed. His cap grew wider, and his eyes became sharper. The little blue vest I had sewn fit tighter across his body. He stopped sleeping in his basket and built a blanket fort under my desk. He also started collecting things. Coins, bottle caps, lost keys, shiny screws. Once, he dragged home a full-size traffic cone. At first, I thought he just liked treasure. Then I noticed he was not collecting randomly. He arranged them in circles, always circles. At night, he sat inside them like he was trying to remember something. Sometimes he drew the same shape in spilled flour, an arch, a doorway, and once a little curved shape like a crown drawn by a child. I did not understand it yet. I do not think he did either. The second major disaster happened at a quiet park outside the city. I thought open space would calm him down. For 10 minutes, it worked. He chased a tennis ball, pulled turnips, and raced Bruno every time. Then his eyes locked onto something near the old maintenance hill. A yellow construction light, blinking, shiny. Pip sprinted toward it before I could grab him. By the time I caught up, he had squeezed through the fence and disappeared into an old service tunnel. I followed his muddy footprints into the dark. Somewhere ahead, his excited chirps echoed through concrete. Then the ground shook. He had found an abandoned utility room. Pipes, gauges, electrical panels, and one giant red emergency lever. The lever was shiny. "Don't," I whispered. He pulled. The whole park went dark. For one breath, everything was silent. Then every sprinkler exploded on at once. People screamed, dogs ran in circles. A birthday party collapsed into chaos. Bruno barked like the world was ending. Pip stood in the tunnel entrance, soaked from head to toe, smiling like he had discovered weather. That night, I saw my own face on local news. The headline said, "Unknown toad causes park flood." I almost gave him away. He watched me from the doorway, pretending not to care. Teenagers do that. Even tiny toad teenagers. But when I sat on the floor, he walked over slowly. He placed his favorite bottle cap in my hand. It was his apology. So I kept him. And I learned to raise him differently. Not like a dog. Not like a cat. Like someone from somewhere else who needed rules, purpose, and something safe to carry. I built him tiny tunnels, soft ramps, and foam blocks. And a sandbox garden full of radishes and turnips. He learned to pull them up without falling. Stack them, carry them, and throw them into painted buckets. His speed became controlled. His strength became useful. And after every strange dream, he came to find me. He would press his cap against my shoulder and fall asleep there. Like whatever home he remembered, he had chosen this one too. By the time he reached adulthood, he was no longer chaotic. He was brave, fast, loyal, and unbelievably capable. He carried grocery bags that looked heavy even for me. He found my keys before I even knew they were missing. He sensed loose floorboards, hidden vents, and secret little spaces. But adulthood brought new problems. Restaurants refused to let us in because he treated the restaurant's decorative onion pots like a garden. A delivery driver screamed when he opened the door himself. He was only trying to carry the package inside. At the vet, the doctor tried to weigh him. He lifted the scale instead. But the worst consequence came when people started looking for him. A black van parked across the street for 3 nights. At first, I told myself it was nothing. Then I saw the camera lens. Someone had been studying him. He noticed before I did. He stopped playing near the fence, and he stood between me and the street. That night, someone came closer. He left something by the courtyard fence. Pip saw the shine before I did. I reached for him, but he was already gone. The lobby camera caught only a blur. He went straight to the radish. Then the carrier snapped open behind him. By the time I reached the courtyard, the door was closing. I saw him inside just before the van drove away. Bruno found the radish leaves in the mud. Bruno followed the smell into the street. We followed the tire tracks through the rain. A traffic camera saw the van turn toward the old forest road. The road looked familiar. Too familiar. The tracks led back to the greenhouse. This time, the greenhouse was not abandoned. Inside, he had built a little laboratory around him. He was not crying. He was waiting.
The man did not look cruel. He looked fascinated, which was worse. I tried the door. Locked. Bruno found another way in. I crawled through broken glass and mud. Pip saw me first. Then he pointed, not at the lock, at the lever. I did not understand how he knew. I just trusted him. The man turned before I reached it. Bruno did not wait for permission. I pulled the lever. The cage clicked open. Pip stepped out slowly. The man stepped back, and the whole greenhouse answered. A beam dropped and trapped him. For 1 second, I thought he would run. He did not. He pulled wild roots from the broken floor. Then one carrot hit exactly where it had to. The man crawled free, but he did not get far. Police lights flashed through the trees. Bruno burst through the door, barking like a war drum. He grabbed my hand and pulled me through the falling glass. For the first time, he saved me. I grabbed him so hard I forgot the rain.
The man who took him was led away before sunrise. After that, home felt quieter. That night, we tried to be normal. Then, he stopped on a circle printed at the center of the board. He moved the pieces into the same pattern he used to draw on flour. I finally understood. He needed answers. So at sunrise, we went back. The old soil remembered him. He stepped into the circle like he had done it before. I reached for him because part of me was still afraid to let go. But he turned back and took my hand. Then the circle stood up. Inside the light, I saw something impossible. He knew that light. And I understood. This was not the end of us. It was the beginning of him. He was ready. Not to leave me forever, just to take the next step. Then he looked back at me, smiled, and waved like this was only the beginning.